Hello, my name is Milvad, and today we are working with the Spatie-Laravel-Permission. Laravel Permission is one of the best packages for Spaties, and today we are working with this. So, what is a Laravel Permission? If you want to make a system for get access to permission, you can use the Laravel Permission. I always using this package for my project, and it's very helpful package. If you want, for example, assign some permission or role to some user, you can use this package. For example, let's open. I need to paint to show an real example. So this is a paint. For example, here is the admin panel, and a specific user can access to this page. For example, here I say panel or admin panel. So we have a one user. It's like a user. It's it's fun user. So he is a simple user, and when you are using a Laravel permission, you can access you can give access to user to see, for example, panel page, and if you didn't access, he can't access to this page. And here in the future I showed the real example like this. And so let's go to the PHP store, and let's first the GitHub page is a Laravel permission page. If you like this package, you can start the GitHub page. I also start now, and it's a little description. You can read about this, but the correct documentation is this: is Spatie docs Laravel permission version 5 and introduction page. Let's disable the Spatie the dark reader I used for dark mode of the core. So here is the Laravel permission, and for example here is an introduction about the package, but here I don't need to this. I need to installation Laravel permission. So here is the table of the Laravel version compatibility. For example, if you are install the Laravel permission version 5.8, you need to have to Laravel 5 Laravel 7, 8, 9 and 10. I think the best version is 5.8, and if you have a old version, you can use the older version. So here, if you want to install, you can copy this and paste here. And the next section is about the service provider, but I think it's automatically registered by composer.json. I think it's not need for now, and also publish the migration and config file. So here we have a 5.11, and here is the config and also the migration. And the last section is about the migrate the migrations. So here I use clear. First I open the permission config file. I increase the font size of my IDE. I think it's a good size for watching. And so here is the permission model. If you want to change the permission model, you can, for example, make your permission model and change this address. So here also the role model is in the model section. So here is the table names. If you want to change the table name of, for example, roles table or permission table, you can change this section. And also is the user is pivot table model has a permission, or you can say user has a permission, but it's polymorphic and use the model. So also for roles and something else. And also you can change the column names. And so here is the register permission check mode. If you change this true, this method for checking permission will be registered on the gate, and I suggest to change it true. It's the default also is true. If you have a custom logic, you can change it to false. If you are using the themes feature, you can change it to true. It's very interested feature that exists in the Laravel permission package that support the theme feature. So, and also we have another option I think is not need, for example, cache and something else. So I don't need this config for now. For migrations, we have one migrations. So we want to say one if for here we have 5 tables. So I want to migrate this permission migration. So let's see what this happening here. We have 1, 2 and 4, 3 and 4. We have a 4 table and also 5. We have a 5 table here, but the migration file must be a 1. No, you have a 1 tip here. If you want to for example create some table in the one migration file, you can use the special create and also schema create, and schema create for making the table. If you want to create a table in the one file or one migration file, you can use the schema create multiple, and also disable this warning or suggestion and the last. So we have a 5 table. So it's a table names. It's about the name of the table, also the column, and also the theme. If the table name is empty, here is throw an exception. You can use I think is true if, and also if the themes or empty or the column of the theme is if the themes is true and the column of the theme foreign key is empty, throw a new exception. So the first table is the permission. Yes, the first column is the ID is okay. It's a string of the permission and also a string of the guard name. You can see is the name of the permission and guard name. Also it must be unique, and also timestamp is not need to say. So the roles table. So sorry, I drink a tea, and let's back up. So here is the roles table, roles, and the also the ID. If we have a teams feature, here you can see a foreign key for a team, also the role name, also the guard name is like a permission, and is about the team, and this column is must be unique. So model has a permissions. So model has a permissions here. It's like a permission ID from the permissions table and the model type. When you are working with the polymorphic relations, I try to get a new video about the polymorphic relation. You can put the model type or model address, for example, app models and the user. And yeah, also here we must be add a user ID. For example, 2 exists in the users table. It's a polymorphic relation. So it's a here it's a model type here, and also is the permission ID, and also it's a model ID. So and also here add an index of for the columns, and here is about the foreign key of the permission ID, and also here for a teams feature, and also use a primary to add a columns to primary type. So model has a roles. I think here is like a permission. A model has a permission. Role ID is like a permission ID, model type, and model ID is like a permission. Model has a permission table. So role has a permissions. I think is easy to understand. Is a permission ID and role ID, just this. And it's about the cache, forgot the cache, store and forgot the cache. Here is the down, and you can see if the table name is empty for an exception, and drop the tables. So now you understand about the Spatie-Laravel-Permission migrations and config file. So let's go to root file, and here. So if you want to create a role, you can use the role model and also query and create, and you need to use a name, and here for example the role is about the product management. So let's dive down the role, and let's see. Here you can see a new role be created. The name of this role is role product management. The guard name is web, updated and created and ID, and you can see the roles here. So here I create a role, and you can assign this role to a user. For example, I want to use first to get the role and check is the correct. So if you want to let's create a user. So the name is the milvad and the email is the milvad.dev and also the password is the user bcrypt helper 1 until 8. So the user, yes, it's correctly created, and I need to create a new user again. I use Taylor and taylor@gmail.com, so it's correct. So I need to milvad is the fine one and also the Taylor ID 2, and let's go up. So here is the we have a milvad and Taylor, and let's check the role. Model has a roles. So I want to assign this role to a user. So when you are using the assign role method, my ID didn't find this method because I say filter. So you can pass a role and just this, and now check. So here call to undefined method is assign role, because you must use a trait is the name is has roles, and you can see some codes about the roles and permission. So let's see the user. So I use the load method and roles. So here you can see the we don't have any error, and here is the user, and also we have a relations is about the role, and we have a one item, and you can see the product management is here. For example, milvad is a admin user, and you are assign a role to a milvad to access the, for example, one role. For example, I want to say get for example VIP and function. So it's we have a lots of way to check the one user have for example some permission or not. For example, I think we have a I think you can use the can, but for example the user is the us user, and if user has role, the role is, for example, management. If the user didn't have a product management role, for example, return true route. Sorry. So here I use the name for this route, and if is access user has access. So let's go to VIP, but I think login to a user. here I can use the middleware of us, and here for example I make a new row to login user test, and the function is so I use us login using ID for example with 1. So here I log in with the Milvad user, and Milvad user can access to this page. Here you can see can access to this page, but when I log in as a Taylor user, I can access to this page and redirect for example to another route. But I can, for example, you can say user has not access to this page, go home. So, and let's test again VIP, and you can see go home. So now you can I think now you know about you have a little knowledge about this package. But the another section is in the new video is a part 2, because it's very hard to say all of this package in the one video. So for next video, I hope this video is helpful for you, and if you like my video you can subscribe my channel and like my video. Until next video, goodbye.